Hey, it's Mr. Peterson. This screencast is about carbon-based molecules or macromolecules. So what does the prefix macro means? Macro means big, right? So macromolecules are large molecules. So lots and lots of atoms involved in these macromolecules, and carbon is the basis of it all. So if we go back to the periodic table, so think back if you can to the periodic table back in physical science. And so we're going to really focus on about 6 different elements. That's all. So hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, those are really what most of living things are made of. So hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen actually make up almost all of the elements and atoms we find in living things, with a sprinkling of nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. That's about 98% just those 6 different elements. And so within that, you can make a lot of different macro molecules. Now, carbon has some interesting properties to it. It can bond to 4 different things, including itself, so other carbon atoms. So here's a carbon, that's the gray, that's bound to 4 hydrogens. So this is a methane molecule. You've already played with this in lab, just a little bit, at least the modeling part of it. So carbon actually has the ability to form 3 basic shapes. It forms straight chains, it forms branch chains, and then it also forms rings. So we're going to see these in models. So here's a straight chain of carbon, 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 and sometimes carbons go in chains. So here's a sprinkling of a pentene, I'm sorry, it's a hexane, where it's got molecules that go in branches, right? But then it also forms rings too. We're going to see lots of rings. So here's vanillin. I love the smell of vanillin. But sugars are also in the shape of rings, and we'll take a look at those in a little while. So we've got 4 molecules that make up living things. So on the left-hand side, we have the things that make up cells. Now, most of the stuff that makes up a cell and living things, and you and me, is water. So the green is mostly water. And then macromolecules make up a quarter of the mass, and then we've got ions and other smaller molecules that just have a sliver of that pie chart. But if we take the macromolecules and break those out and say, okay, of the macromolecules, what are they? Well, number one, we have proteins, which make more than 50% of living materials. We have nucleic acids, so things like DNA and RNA. And actually, this screencast is not, we're not going to talk about nucleic acids. We're going to save that. And then we're going to talk about carbohydrates and lipids. Now, lipids you probably know better as fats and oils. So we're going to hit proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids in the screencast. So some things that they have in common. Number one, macromolecules are made of smaller particles. And we call those smaller particles smaller groups of atoms. They're actually molecules themselves. We call those smaller molecules monomers. So the prefix mono means one. So here's a couple of monomers. Notice they're pretty similar, and actually they are similar. I just copied and pasted those 2 models. They have the same. Now, the interesting thing about monomers is they all have hydrogens and oxygen-hydrogen combinations sticking out. And by removing those in a process called a condensation reaction, so removing an oxygen and a hydrogen from one monomer and a hydrogen from another, what do we remove? We actually remove water. So water gets removed in this condensation by combining these monomers, and we're going to combine the monomers, and what have we started to make? We started to make a polymer. And so a covalent bond that connects those 2 monomers is going to happen when they start sharing electrons between those molecules. And when those molecules come together, now it's not a monomer, it's actually the start of a polymer. So poly means many. Now, so here's the opposite of that reaction. So the top is a polymer, so it's a 3 molecule polymer, and when water gets removed, we can just break it apart. Now, it just doesn't happen spontaneously. There are molecules, machines that actually do that called enzymes. I'll show you a brief animation of that here shortly. So when water is added, that's called a hydrolysis, and then we form covalent bonds between the oxygen and the hydrogens and the oxygens in making those monomers again. So it's a cycle. We put monomers together to make polymers, and we break apart polymers to make monomers. All right, so that's how that works. Now, if we look at these monomers, we call those are the subunits. Polymers are many monomers. So here's a picture of one. So you can see these hexagons. Those are individual monomers, and they're all stuck together to make a polymer. So how does that happen? Well, there's some molecular machines called enzymes. So here's an enzyme that's going to take, this enzyme is called polymerase. It's going to take two monomers in a condensation reaction, and it's going to put them together and make a chain. So by taking monomers and putting them together, we make a polymer. Now there are enzymes that do the opposite. So they're called hydrolases. So here's a hydrolase that's taking those polymers and breaking it back into the monomers. So it's a cycle. So monomers and polymers is what it's all about for carbon-based macromolecules. Hope that helps.